Hi there, welcome to the Todd and Erin
Daily stream.
Thanks.
WS. Daily stream.
How you doing? It's been warm.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, I made the mistake.
What is your name? Hi.
I'm your wife.
We see each other so rarely.
Well, it's interesting. I actually tried.
This is like the bonding moment of our relationship.
This is when the children are not actually between us and we can talk to each other.
Mom, 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 dad, 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 dad.
Zoe does have that gift, doesn't she?
Well, yes.
It's amazing.
Your audio sounds terrible.
Oh.
Pardon me, everybody.
Yeah, excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Is that the gain?
That's the game.
All right.
Let's see if
Go see if that works.
Try not to scream in excitement. Sorry for the interruption.
No,
Thanks,
not a
Mike.
word. Thanks, Mike.
It's better than sounding like, well, we always
All
sound
right,
like a
so
moron,
now we're going to find out if it sounds better. Mike, how does it sound? Sounds okay.
That's not reassuring.
Does it sound
in the
okay to you?
slightest.
Doesn't matter. What
No,
we say
I
is
really want to know.
what we say is not important.
What kind? Okay.
We should talk about farming first of all. Once again,
I don't know how you're doing it because now that it's like officially 100, I tried to go running early today going, hey, I'll get it done early. It was so hot that I'm now a liquid instead of a solid. I mean,
it's a tad warm.
did you feel more like a farmer as you were laboring under the hot
No,
sun?
once again, I felt alone because all of you are supposed to be helping me. It's supposed to be
Okay.
a family building exercise.
No, there was never. You're acting like this is like some sort of contractual agreement. I never agreed to the planting. I said that is an excellent plan.
Is it important?
I think we should do that.
It's important.
In the meantime, I'll be picking up dog poop and mowing the lawn.
It's important to get Zoe's hand in the dirt. It's important that she feels the soil, and Zachy too. And it's important because, kids who help plant vegetables eat more vegetables because they're proud of them.
Look at you. You've been talking to my mother, the
So
nutritionist,
you're just
again,
a
huh?
terrible mother.
Well, I think I think we've assumed that by now. It's a given.
Big shocker.
Tell me.
Big shocker. Miss America contest.
Yeah?
They have decided
Okay.
to scrap the bathing suit competition.
Yeah, that was time.
Do you know why? Because it's 2018!
See, what I think would be really cool to see is like videos of them doing something awesomely athletic. Like maybe they dance or maybe they're running and you just see how really strong and toned they are. And I did beauty pageants. My sisters did beauty pageants and I never thought about the swimsuit thing unironically. But now thinking about Zozo, it's like,
She'll never be in a
my
contest
7-year-old
like this.
It's like
ever.
I keep you become so acutely aware of body image when you become a mom of a daughter, and it's like you spend so much time talking about muscle tone and strength, and not about are you fat, are you thin, and it's just that to me is like the epitome of everything I would against what I'd be teaching her. I guess I don't know.
How about if we take that whole thing out, and we just have real women of all different sizes, and they compete on how many nice things they have done.
Well, I think that the whole point of it was that the physical fitness was important, that health and strength was important.
Who are you?
No, this was part of the terminology even back when I did it.
And it's a scholarship program,
But the point is this, there are other ways to, and I think that's a really crucial thing, and I think showing women of strength and women of physical ability is a crucial thing. But I think it would be cool to show that in other ways than a swimsuit.
Miss America competition will be more inclusive to women of all shapes and sizes. These are their words because it's 2018. Now you'll know that the Miss America pageant started on network television.
It was huge. It would take the night. It was live.
And they traveled it around the world to do this. Trump was involved in a lot of these. You probably heard that.
That was Miss USA.
Yes. But Miss America suddenly fell out of grace. People decided, we're not going to watch it on network. So they took it to cable. And they took it 3 different places, I believe. One was the
country music
station channel. And now it's on, I think now it's on the cattle auction channel. And no one watches it.
No, that's not a nice crack. It's not on the cattle auction channel.
Oh, you think I'm talking about the women? No.
The beauty pageant?
Yeah. Oh, I could just say, the terrible jewelry channel.
Okay, maybe
the all knife channel, which is awesome.
The thing is this is the 3rd biggest state for pageant participation outside of Texas and California. So you have to remember that for a lot of these families, this is still a thing.
Okay.
But I think that most of the moms are in agreement that it's cool the swimsuit thing is gone.
Yes.
Because there's better and more accurate ways to show women's strength.
Especially teenagers. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I overstepped my bounds?
You're being a father who is passionate about healthy body image, and that is a good thing.
I have dirt under my fingernails from farming alone. I will say this then. You know the little kid pageants that you've seen on the tiara one, on the scary
Toddlers
ones?
and tiaras.
When they make them look like hookers, and they're this tall, and they put on these lashes and do all that stuff. I think we're all together, and we say that's stupid, right? Okay. And you know how those are run. There's an entry fee. They take the entry fee, they put it together, they break it into parts of some awards, and then they keep, 30% for themselves.
There's some big, gigantic trophies, too.
And they look like little streetwalkers.
Trophies
it's
bigger than the
horrible. I'm glad it's gone, but I can't believe it's still around. That's just me. We got a guy back from Argentina, which is great.
Venezuela.
There.
You're on a roll today, aren't you?
I'm delirious from the sun yesterday, farming alone. Now there's a new Utah, and he's in trouble with...
Well, Josh Holt was falsely accused of spying in Venezuela and in arms dealing, because you can do that in a one-bedroom apartment with 2 kids. You can just stock up surface-to-air missiles. It all happens.
Hand grenades in the junk drawer.
And by the way, Josh Holt's family, I'm so glad he's back.
Me too.
We were looking on his Facebook page, and we love you guys. You never gave up, and you were amazing.
And
this guy, on the other hand,
what?
looks like a total scumbag.
What?
This is a pretty compelling case, and the FBI has actually been investigating him for 5 years.
And he's from Utah?
Yeah, he's Ron Rockwell Hansen, 58 years old, of Syracuse.
Yeah.
He was arrested Saturday by federal agents just as he was preparing to board a flight in Seattle to China.
Okay. All right.
He's charged in federal court with attempting to gather or deliver defense information, being an unregistered agent of a foreign government, 3 counts of bulk cash smuggling, 8 counts of structuring money transactions, 2 counts of smuggling goods for the United States.
Yeah.
He's been selling national classified defense information, according to the FBI, for over $800,000. Now, he's a former Defense Intelligence Agency officer.
All right.
Retired from the U.S. Army. He had worked for 20 years. He speaks fluent Mandarin Chinese. and
Evidently, his
Russian.
pension wasn't enough.
Well, here's the deal. He ran a failing company that ran into about $1 million in debt. He was fired by the Defense Intelligence Agency as a civilian case officer in 2006, top secret clearance for many, many years. Then between 2013 and 2017, he traveled back and forth attending military intelligence conferences in China.
Yeah. They got to him.
Yeah. So he was paid at least $800,000 over the years, including a $300,000 consulting fee.
Yeah.
This is pretty intense. I mean, to the point where they're like, was laid out. After he stopped working for the government in 2012, he tried to regain access to classified information. He divulged what he was doing to a law enforcement officer who finally came up to him and said, "Dude." And that's when the FBI, I guess, began their case.
Right.
He approached a U.S. Army intelligence agent and offered to work as a double agent against China, made the same offer to the FBI in 2015.
Who's got time for
then
this?
even contacted a member of the U.S. House of Representatives saying, "Hey, I can be your guy on intelligence issues." So he was that desperate to regain his ability to get sensitive U.S. documents. And apparently he had something, because when they caught him on the flight boarding to China, he had quite a briefcase with him.
Really? China's known for this.
Wow.
They really are.
And yet we're friendly. We're like friendly trading partners, and hey, how you doing? What's up?
If you've ever seen, and I saw this great show on it, and it's like U.S. comes up with a brand new submarine. Mm-hmm. That year, they come out with a submarine that looks suspiciously like ours. They've done it with jets and jet fighters. A lot of times they'll go to the people who manufacture the parts that go into the jet.
Yeah, it's interesting because, we always picture it's reverse manufacture, where they get American goods or international goods, and then they
rip it down.
Basically make the same thing, except for,
right.
for pennies.
Right.
But when it comes to defense information, and we're talking about the jets and the ships, it's like, that seems problematic.
Radar systems and all this stuff.
Because they're real tight with North Korea, too.
Oh, that's true. You got a point there.
They got all the Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Ron Hansen, it looks like you're in for a world of
he's
litigation for a while.
He's gonna. I think that's like a go away
That's
for life thing.
That's not a public trial thing.
They don't
That's
like that stuff.
That's a super quiet trial. It involves a lot of people in uniforms. And,
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary
So
stuff.
there you go.
Let's get some information, shall we?
Okay, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by our dear friends at Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com. Literally, you cannot buy a house in this environment right now unless you are already ready to go, like the mortgage is sitting there. And Jeff Stout and his people there are the people who can have it ready for you at so many less thousands of dollars than most of the places you've gone to, and really quickly. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com and make sure you mention Todd and Erin sent you. Also, by Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and video. You'd be amazed at the kind of media wall they can create for you at your business. Just go to brioaudiovisual.com. And by the New Millennium Financial Group, you've got so many questions, but you just don't quite know how to formulate them. They have a bunch of questions that can help you understand where you need to go for your future. These are the guys. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Tuesday, June 5th on GephartDaily.com. A Syracuse man has been arrested in Washington state and charged with spying for China. 58-year-old Ron Rockwell Hansen, a former officer for the Defense Intelligence Agency, was taken into custody before he could board a flight to China, where Department of Justice officials say he intended to negotiate payment for U.S. intelligence information. Department of Justice officials believe Hansen has been paid at least $800,000 for giving classified information to China over recent years. According to reports, Hansen served an LDS mission to Taiwan and is fluent in Mandarin Chinese as well as Russian. A Riverton toddler who was found unconscious in a neighbor's backyard pool Sunday has died. Police were called to the residence Sunday afternoon. The child's 20-year-old sister was performing CPR. The little girl was taken to a local hospital, then flown to Primary Children's Hospital. Yesterday evening, Unified Police officials released the following statement. This afternoon, we were notified that the 2.5-year-old little girl found unconscious in a Riverton swimming pool yesterday has passed away. Our hearts go out to the family during this very difficult time. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is evacuating its remaining missionaries from Nicaragua. A statement released said, in light of the continued violence and deteriorating conditions in Nicaragua, the church has decided to transfer the remaining 158 missionaries out of that country. Those missionaries are being moved to temporary assignments in North America, South America, the Caribbean, and New Zealand. Nicaragua has been suffering with political unrest since April. Protesting citizens want President Daniel Noriega to leave the country, and pro-government militias are trying to take control. This evacuation of the LDS missionaries follows the initial removal of 169 missionaries on May 22nd. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and in Layton. Today and tomorrow, inch towards the mid-90s in northern Utah. Then Thursday and Friday will drop a couple of degrees to the low 90s. The weekend's going to be very comfortable, with temps hovering around the mid-80s. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
What switch are there two?
Thanks, Daisy. I'm so sorry. My fault the door slammed because of that gusty southern wind today.
Oh, that's so funny. Is that what happened?
Did she jump? Yeah, I don't know. Did she?
I'm sure she did. It was really loud and scary.
Daisy, did I scare you? Oh, I'm terrified. Okay, she's terrified. Okay.
She's been through worse than us.
I'm going to be
going. That's hard to believe.
I'm going to HR today, aren't I? I knew it.
All right, New Millennium Financial Group, we were just talking about this, but if you're the person who's sort of in charge of paying the bills in the family, maybe the main person who kind of focuses on retirement and your kids' stuff, like college or, it's a lot of people with special needs kids have to think about guardianships. Who's going to take care of my kids when I'm gone? I mean, there's so many questions that, I feel woefully unprepared for as an adult. I'm like, isn't someone more mature than I am supposed to be handling this? And apparently, no, I'm it. So this is where you go to places like New Millennium Financial Group, because these guys know the right questions to help steer you in different directions. They'll ask you things that maybe you didn't think about, and they'll suggest things that could save you money, things that could make you money, safer places to put things. And it was amazing to me under one consultation I went, I had not thought of that. And I think I said that like 27 times. It's humbling. But just go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. They've got a great way to get you started, and from then on, you can be on your way. It's pretty amazing.
Tell me something good on this Tuesday, Erin.
This is awfully sweet. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I've been really inspired. I've been reading the Reader's Digest Good News Network goal. They've been trying to find the kindest spots in America, and it could be something as small as a coffee shop to an entire town.
Right.
And so people have been sending in nominations.
So it could actually be one store.
Mm-hmm. And we did one yesterday, the St. Cloud mayor, who invites new residents into his house and he cooks them dinner every Friday, which I adore. I'm sorry, I think that's so cute.
Right.
And apparently he's single and he says, I'm not much of a cook. But
They put up with it.
yeah. So today's, though, is also food-based, which is interesting because I think a lot of things happen around meals when you're gathered.
Yeah.
This is in Chickateague, Virginia. I know how to say that because I lived there. Otherwise, I'd be screwed.
Say it again?
Chickateague.
Okay.
And Manna Cafe was started by Fran and Bill Little in 2017. And the first thing they wanted to do was they were worried that there was a lot of elderly and young kids in their community that had food insecurity.
Right.
And so they started doing this big hot lunch. And so the first day, the cafe served 16 guests, and currently they serve 360 guests a week.
Oh my gosh.
And it's freshly made by Bill, and always has a main course and vegetables and salad and dessert. And then they began to deliver meals to people who were unable to leave their homes.
Because it wasn't good enough what he was doing.
Well, no, but like the elderly or the homebound.
Oh no, I'm kidding you.
So, I mean, I can't even stand how much I love these guys, but basically they thought the first thing is, Christmas is going to fall on a Monday, and that was their first thing. They said,
Gotta do that.
We want to have presents for all the kids who show up. And so they conducted a toy drive, got more than 200 gifts, and so when people arrived to actually get a hot meal for Christmas, their kids all got presents too.
Can't even imagine the logistics behind a kitchen making 350 meals, and where do they get the money for the food? I can see volunteers, and they've got a beautiful kitchen.
Well, it's pretty amazing. It's the Manna Cafe, and they say
That's
that
so
like
cool.
manna in the Bible, that they tend to receive a flush of donations when they need them the most.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, that just amazes me. So in any case, this is like one of the most beautiful things I've ever said. And they said the most important thing is not even that they're fed, but no one's lonely anymore. They said, when you come here, you're a friend. You're no longer lonely. You're not on your own. And they said it's changed even like the health of the community dramatically, because you know how loneliness can impact your bodies as well as your spirit.
Well, they've said, how many studies have said that families who sit down and eat together, or you share a meal with friends, and how much stronger that makes your friendship and makes your family's relationships, because you get to talk about silly things, you get to talk about serious stuff. It's so important to come together. It's once a day.
We have to make this commitment.
We really do.
Let's make it like right now, like for tonight.
Okay.
Because we're not always the best at this.
No, we're not.
I want to change. I want to be better now.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll try that.
Okay, that's good.
Just a little side note. Stop sending us pictures of you at Christopher's.
They're
Prime
sharing a
Steakhouse.
meal. They're communicating with friends.
You know what you're doing.
You're tormenting us.
You're food shaming us. Because here we sit eating a bowl of cold spaghetti, and you're down at Christopher's eating incredible food.
Someone sent me a close-up of their cheesecake the other day.
Why? Why'd you do that?
I think I might have actually licked my phone screen. I'm not sure.
You people. So anyway, if you want to do this, just share the show. On Friday, we pick out that lucky person, and they go to Christopher's with 3 friends and sit around and talk. See? Back that loop. See what he did there?
Nice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what time you're watching or when you're watching. We continue to give it away. So just share the show as you're watching it. You're also watching it. Get Part Daily or Get Part Approves Facebook pages. Share us if you're here on the Todd and Erin page. Hi. Just share us. Life is good.
All right. Coming up next, an officer is number 2. That's a terrible tease. Deals with It's coming up next. You'll see. You'll see.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. Wonderful in every way.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
talk about the Farmington guy.
Okay, Farmington police officer. No, I absolutely love this man because I think one of the scariest things, and when I've talked to officers before, they say family issues number one. It's like the thing they dread most dealing with.
What?
And family issues.
Confrontation.
Yes, and they said, and especially anything to do with parents and kids. That's why a lot of them, carry the stuffed animals in their trunks so they can try to comfort the kids. And for these men, think about it. These men and women, they're parents too.
Right.
And so there's no way you can not look at this and not feel that connection as a parent. I mean, when we became parents, I was not prepared for this, that like every kid in the world became my kid. It wasn't just my children. It's like that parent hormone where you can't control yourself. So this makes me just adore him. They received a call about a mentally disturbed woman who had an infant, and she was at the Farmington Station UTA. So officers went down, checking with her, saying, "Hey, how are you doing, miss?"
See, I think this would be a great part of your job, not the other part, the conflict and stuff. No, but responding to someone in need like this is one of the reasons that I would become a cop.
Now, while the two other officers were talking to the woman and trying to understand what was happening.
Right.
This third officer noticed that her infant was just crying and just uncontrollably sobbing, and he said, "Can I hold her for a minute?"
Right.
Realized that she just was very soiled diaper, probably hadn't been changed for a while, and he immediately got down on his knees on the station, put out a blanket, and calmly changed the baby's diaper. And we've all seen babies.
Because that's what you do.
Diapers. It was just changing the baby, getting her all fixed up, cleaned up, and then sitting here bouncing her. And you can see in the video him just bouncing this baby, patting on the back.
The pictures are great.
And it's like, I cannot even stand how much I love this man right now. So
it's what you do. See, that's the cool thing. That's the stuff that people joined the police to do.
that is what you wanted, yeah. So Officer Ballard, you rock. You
did
obviously
good.
have to be a dad because that was a swift maneuver.
Boy, yesterday,
that made my day.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court came down with the baking the cake thing.
Oh, the Supreme Court cake thing.
And the two guys who have a cake business, and they said, no, we're not going to make it for a gay wedding. And the court decided that they don't have to. And it's funny, both ends, and this is interesting, both ends, discriminatory, and that against the gay community, and the other side was the freedom of religion,
the rights,
and their choice,
protection of your religious beliefs.
So where do we fall on this?
Because that's freaking edgy.
Because it's so hard. Because obviously we believe in gay wedding cakes. We do, and we think that's a great thing, and everybody should be able to do that.
This made it all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Right.
And a 7-2 decision, basically what they said is they sent this back to the state. They said, you treated the man and his religious beliefs in a hostile way. You did.
They did say that.
And they said that this needs to go back and this needs to be dealt with. They said this is anti-religious bias on the Colorado Civil Rights Commission. And they said they were disappointed that they had not done more to try to resolve it in that situation. So it's interesting. So it goes back now, and Colorado has to handle it again. And I'm torn. What's your feeling?
It's really easy to swing. I think it's wrong.
To which part?
That they should get a cake. But I don't believe that the guy has to do that. He's got them on the shelf, right? Here, have any wedding cake you want. Do that. Any wedding cake, and that's great, and we're fine. But I have a thing about a thing and religious belief, and I know this is going to make me sound like an idiot. I can understand the religious thing, and I can understand the other side. I would like to think that the gay community has equal access to cakes, but I have analogies, but they're all wrong. Like if you bought a cake from someone, a sheet cake from someone, right? And you went in and you wanted dirty words just written all over it, Bob, and then curse them out. A lot of people won't do that. Smiths wouldn't do it.
The trouble is
But
cursing
that's
doesn't.
not a good analogy.
Yeah,
It's
cursing
horrible.
doesn't follow under
It's
religious
horrible.
or civil rights. It's interesting.
horrible.
Like Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski said that she was disappointed and surprised in the Supreme Court ruling. We had a long-standing principle of the country is that businesses should be open to all people.
Right.
And then, of
The
course,
guy who wrote the summary, by the way, Kennedy, is a big, longtime supporter.
longtime supporter of the LGBT community.
Yeah.
LDS Church said, we welcome the Supreme Court's decision. The nation's laws can protect both religious liberty and the rights of LGBT citizens.
You speak with your money.
But you and I
You
have
speak with your money.
Yeah, you and I have talked about this, and every business should be. You should never be
Absolutely.
able to discriminate for someone coming
Right.
into your business and purchasing something.
Whether it's housing or pay or jobs or
But-
food or cakes.
But once it goes into, it's the same logic as. I was trying to think about this. What did we agree last night? It was like a kosher deli. We want you to do an entire. We want you to cater a pork product luncheon. And it's like, and a kosher deli would go, no, we're not going to do that because that's against all of our principles.
All of our
But you
analogies
could go in and you
suck.
could, but you could go in and you could buy.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
sure they'd have wonderful latkes and all
Right.
kinds of lovely things. But
Right.
they have the right to say, but that.
Right.
And I think it should be the same way with the bakery. Anyone should be able to go in and purchase what they want. But if they want something specifically custom, I think you should have the right to say no.
See this face I'm making right now?
Is this where we're both torn and we're not sure we're expressing it
Yeah,
right?
that's this face right
That
here.
would be that face.
I don't know.
I don't know. Does anyone have any different thoughts on it? 'Cause I'm not sure how to.
I'm torn.
This is the first time I think I've ever heard of the Supreme Court going, handle your own problems.
Right.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Mike did point out the sign we've seen in so many. Does that violate anyone's religious
No
beliefs?
shirt.
They have to be wearing no shirt, shoes,
No service.
service.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I want everybody to be happy.
I just like that they told Colorado to handle their own mess, which
my
I thought
gosh,
was sort of
that is
funny.
so funny.
Because it was not what anyone expected, so.
So I'm sorry. Confused face again. Coming up next, Roseanne.
Roseanne's not back on TV, but the rest of
They're
the
trying
cast
to make a
might
move
be.
on this. We'll tell you what it is coming up next.
We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at stayfitwellnessclinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish.
Hey, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. All right.
Hollywood Connection brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Just go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com. Leanne's got a $39 air conditioner tune-up special right now that's going to save you a boatload in energy bills.
ABC responded to Roseanne's what was called a racist tweet, and she.
Oh no, that was a racist tweet.
And she.
That was really a racist
They canceled the show. Their number 1 show. They were just starting season 2. For a reboot, I mean, it was kicking some fanny.
It was number 1 on ABC. It was like the centerpiece of their fall showcase that they were just showing now to advertisers.
So what they did is they have been kicking around. They talked to Sarah Gilbert, plays one of their daughters, and she says she stands behind ABC and their decision to cancel Roseanne. She also was one of the ones who was kind of getting this thing together. Did you know that? Because she has her own show.
Yeah, she did a big push to get into it.
Yeah, and so they're talking about spin-offs. One of the things that irking them is because Roseanne developed the character, that she will have some rights to the new show, which is irking ABC to no end.
Well, it was her show. I mean...
It is, but they're desperately trying to think about, can they spin it off and it's Dan or it's 3 different places and they go back and forth like Friends. They go to the apartment across the street.
Like Laurie Metcalf, her sister, was kind of going to be the central feature of one, and then Dan Goodman.
Right.
John Goodman was going to be maybe the second central figure. It'd be interesting to know.
Right. And I mean, boy, that'd be a challenge, though, wouldn't it? Here's the first episode. That sure was a terrible car accident. I've never seen anybody cut in half like that. Hey, what are we having for dinner? Get some mashed potatoes over here. Let's eat. I don't know. I have a southern accent.
The Midwestern.
But it will start with like, wow, that was a big explosion. I didn't think she'd jump out on it. Just terrible. I mean, you could write these all day long, right? Who knew toasters don't belong in the tub?
Man, you're dark today. You're dark.
I guess you shouldn't be on your cell phone when you're filling your car with gas. Where's that turkey?
Okay, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. She's brought
Don't
to
be
you by
afraid. Don't be afraid.
New Millennium Financial Group. This is the time to go to utahsfinancialplanner.com and take a look at some of the plans and the options they can make for you.
You
Also,
married me.
by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Look, why not head to toe body health instead of just trying to patch up one problem on your body with medication? Fix everything at once. This is what these guys do. And also by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. If you want to do this now and get ready so you can actually buy a house, because you're going to be the first offer and that's the only way you're going to get one in this market, go to Jeff Stout's people. In 4 minutes, they can tell you all kinds of different options, and just make sure that you tell them that Todd and Erin sent you. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making news in the US and around the world on Tuesday, June 5th on GephartDaily.com. Special Counsel Robert Mueller's office has accused Paul Manafort of attempting to tamper with potential witnesses while on pretrial release, according to a court filing Monday. Mueller's team requested that the court revoke or revise Manafort's release conditions and send him to jail until his trial begins for violating the conditions of his release by attempting to tamper with the witnesses. Prosecutors working for the Special Counsel's office said Manafort repeatedly contacted two individuals who worked with and assisted in his work with a Habsburg group which lobbied on behalf of the Ukraine. A Wisconsin sausage factory worker is facing federal charges after he allegedly put foreign objects into the meat, prosecutors announced. Jonathan Lane was working on the processing line at the Johnsonville sausage plant in Sheboygan Falls in March, when he allegedly placed a cigarette paper in a sausage link and 3 days later put a wire connector in another link. Prosecutors said the items were removed before packaging, and Johnsonville closed down the factory and discarded all products that may have been affected. Lane faces 10 years of prison and up to $250,000 in fines on each count. And a mostly intact dinosaur skeleton sold at the Eiffel Tower auction house in Paris on Monday for more than $2 million, the auction house announced. The skeleton was discovered in Wyoming in 2013 and is 30 feet long and 9 feet high. It's believed to be a previously unknown species that belongs to the Tyrannosaurus rex family. Although paleontologists don't have a name for this dinosaur species yet, the new owner, who chose to remain anonymous, will be able to give it a name, as long as it's scientific and subject to peer review, the auction house said. Time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and Layton. Today and tomorrow inch towards the mid-90s in northern Utah. Then Thursday and Friday will drop a couple of degrees to the low 90s. The weekend's going to be very comfortable with temps in the mid-80s, and there's no rain in the forecast. St. George, meanwhile, will hover right around 100 degrees for most of the week. For more news 24/7, check out GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, thank you, Daisy. I want that dinosaur.
Why do you want the dinosaur?
It's standing up. It stands up. It's not like laying down in rock. The thing stands up. You bought it for $2 million. It's 9 feet high. They haven't named it yet, but it's kind of like a little brother of the Tyrannosaurus rex. But the guy who bought it gets to name it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Ned the dinosaur.
You would too. You would pick a name like that, wouldn't you?
It has to be scientific, like Daisy said, though. Nedis erecti, because it's standing up. He has very little arms. This is why they were so angry.
Oh, honey.
Because they couldn't scratch anywhere. We should talk about...
Yeah, he scares me too. I'm sorry.
Wellness.
Oh, yeah, Stay Fit Wellness. I get to go up there tomorrow. I'm really excited.
Is that where you're going?
Yes. You know, the thing that was interesting, though, is the first time I actually talked to them, and I actually got a chance to talk to the doctor, I kind of went, well, duh. Because he was... The whole point of my career has always been, like, trying to do head to toe body wellness with people. He said,
Comprehensive.
yeah, he says, I hated having people come in and I would give them one medication, they'd go back out again, but nothing else got fixed.
Right.
And then a bunch of other things would happen. He says, I would rather have someone come in and do a comprehensive health screening,
Right.
go through everything that's happening,
Right.
and then try to work through things that's going to fix the entire body instead of patching up one thing and sending you out again.
Great thing was the thing with your foot and your toes blew your knee out. Who would thought?
Yeah, stuff that you would never consider. And he's been
Right.
doing really exciting work with kids with special needs. I mean, if this is something you're looking for a different, more thorough approach, you've got to consider these guys. Call in for a consultation. You can just go to stayfitwellnessclinic.com, stayfitwellnessclinic.com. It's going to change your entire family's health.
All right, I want to talk about a big bird story with you. And first, I'd like to relate that we are very happy to announce that, like the swallows to Capistrano, the turkey buzzards have returned to our neighborhood. And every day around
Circling endlessly.
4:30, 4 to 5 p.m., they come soaring out of the mountains. And they just go round and around, and they're working their way down, riding the thermals, and then they disappear into the neighborhood.
And the first thing you think is my dog outside?
Right.
And then you go, okay, no.
So they go up in the mountains, and they eat dead things. And then they come down, and they roost at night. We never knew where they were until last year. Just happened to be driving through the neighborhood and noticed the road covered with white.
Our poor neighbors. Oh, my.
They are in his tree. And he tried lights. He tried music. He tried everything. And there's only certain things you can do because the state doesn't like that, messing with
Pellet
birds.
guns, I guess, are a no-no.
No, you can't do that. But he tried everything to do it, and just not a good place to put your patio furniture under there. Don't do it. In British Columbia,
But this phrase, I'm sorry, the phrase feral peacocks, I'm like, I want to know more. Tell me about the feral peacocks.
I thought at first it said peacocks with ferrets, but it wasn't. But that would be odd too.
Well, that'd be cool too, but it's just not the same as awesomeness.
And this has happened before.
The feral
British
peacocks.
Columbia. Basically, what's happening is the neighborhood is being run over by these feral peacocks. And if you've ever heard a peacock, I will now do
Explain
my
them.
impression. It's like that, except higher and clearer. And if you ever hear it in fog, you think you're going to die. Seriously. In a fog on the East Coast.
We're all going to die.
Oh, just like, let's lay on the ground and let them hit us with a machete. Get it over with. So basically, what would happen, when a peacock's stand about this tall. Okay? And so they're walking along.
So they're really like waist high.
Yeah, and they're being feral. You know how they are.
They're swaggering. There's more swagger, I'm assuming, as a feral peacock.
They're gangs of feral peacocks, and they're walking down the street, and they got a nice neighborhood. I got some shiny cars here.
Luxury cars.
Yeah, and so the
Big, shiny luxury cars.
peacocks stop. They stand up like this, and they see their reflection in the glass, and they attack that Ferrari. They tack it, and the only thing they can't hit it with their wings. It's just feathers, so they scratch.
And claw and nip.
And so if you have an expensive car, you can't just paint a door. You have to paint the entire car because some of the paint is faded, and plus it's $250,000 worth of car. And so people started hiding their cars. Other people didn't have garage space. They started covering their cars because the feral peacocks.
How many feral peacocks? How many destroyed cars are there now that the feral peacocks have taken over the luxury
Dozens
neighborhood?
going through, and they've come up with all these deals. But, because they're feral.
It's just like one of those weird things, though. It's like there's no actual legislation. There's nothing like really in a town code against like feral peacocks attacking your luxury car.
People are crying foul. Get out of here.
Are you embarrassed right now?
I am so embarrassed that person wrote that.
Coming up next,
if you think that you like oysters, you have no idea.
and you do. You actually
I love oysters.
You love raw oysters,
I've
which
even
to me is like
eaten
phlegm.
at this restaurant.
No way. The one they're
did.
talking about?
Yes, the Ace Oyster House in New Orleans.
Yes, we did.
It's coming up next.
Oh, wow. We're brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. Go to UtahHeatingandCooling.com for their $39 air conditioner tune-up special. Some care now could make the difference in hundreds of dollars of energy bills this summer. And by New Millennium Financial Group. Take your feeble financial health back to a more robust position with a consult with New Millennium Financial Group. They're offering a complimentary financial analysis to get you started at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Todd and Erin, Daily Stream. Hi. We ate at this restaurant. We ate in New Orleans at the Acme Oyster House.
Oh, yeah. There was a line like you can't believe it. It
By
was
the
worth
way,
it. That was spectacular.
I would attribute all the deaths during Mardi Gras to the fact that when it's not Mardi Gras, it takes 45 minutes to get a seat at a restaurant. There's always lines. I can't imagine during Mardi Gras you would die in line.
You would have to have snacks just to keep you standing while you waited to
If
get
I
into
had
the
a
restaurant.
hot dog wagon, man, you would clean up. So anyway, the Acme Oyster House has their annual oyster eating world's championship.
Okay, now I've got to be honest.
Contest.
I lived in Virginia where the Chesapeake Bay has what are considered like the best oysters in the world.
They are good.
I could not consume them.
Why?
And it is like the closest thing to phlegm that a food item can possibly be to me. But you absolutely love them. So we
do.
go out and I know you're going to do the little preparation of
I
the
chew-
glistening
I
oyster
chew
thing
them
and
where they
put
should
some
be.
lemon and horseradish on it.
No. Just okay. Wait.
But so when
you
you're
don't want to
talking-
do the whole make a shot out of it and cover it with this and cover it with that so you don't taste it. No. Just here.
So we're talking though like competition. Like this is how many you can swallow without vomiting all
8.
over the table.
No, some people like oysters.
Yeah, but that's
8 minutes. You have 8 minutes.
competitive eating. Okay, go on.
You have 8 minutes.
Okay,
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Darren Breedham stood up to the challenge. He's never done this before.
Oh, he's a novice?
This is when it always happens, isn't it? It's like someone steps out of the crowd and just kicks your butt.
Like his jaw can unhinge like a snake's or something. And
I'm going to ask you a question.
okay,
8 minutes. How many dozen?
can I substitute anything else in my brain besides oysters?
Nope. Imagine the round tray in front of him and him and then throwing that away. And
So
there's
it's by
another
dozens.
one.
Okay, and
he
this is
does
within 8 minutes?
8 minutes.
Well, I would figure the first minute you could probably slurp down an entire dozen, and then you would start slowing down because it would get harder.
Mr. Breeden did not slow down.
I would say about 25.
Yeah. 40. 40 dozen oysters in 8 minutes.
Wait, how much?
40. 40 dozen. You know how many oysters that is? I suck at math.
40?
So it's written down. 480.
40 dozen? I thought you said meant 40 oysters. 40 dozen
40
oysters?
40 dozen.
Is there enough room in your body to actually accommodate that level of oyster intake?
Temporarily, yes.
40 dozen.
He has a technique. Remember, this guy is his first try doing this.
Okay.
So he won the prize. He won $1,000
It's not enough.
in a bucket. His technique. He goes, I really didn't have one, so I just slurped and slurped, rinsed and repeated. He won $1,000. He probably didn't enjoy
not
it
enough.
that much. He probably didn't enjoy it that much.
Corinne's like me. She goes, no, none. Wendy thinks that she could do
On
10
Facebook.
dozen. Nice.
I could.
Wendy goes, no, I can't do it at all. No.
I think I could enjoy six over an hour, 6 or 7 dozen oysters. I could do that,
I've seen
and
you go
mussels
through,
too. Cooked
I've
mussels.
sed you go through a dozen oysters pretty quickly, so I
Yeah.
could see
Not
that.
quick though. Talking.
Well, no, you
and
enjoyed them, but I
lounging.
mean, I could see the feasibility of that.
Eating oysters, you must do this. Lounging while eating.
Wow. So, do they ever talk about what happens to them after the championship oyster eating contest?
Do you want to know a fact I know about this?
I'm not sure, but go for it anyway.
Different techniques.
This is the competitive eating circuit. Did you know there's a competitive eating circuit?
It's horrific.
This was a shock to me until Todd made me watch a documentary with him. Go on.
It's horrific. They drink a gallon of water to stretch out their stomach, or so they say. And then the big decision afterwards is to go natural or to purge.
I think your body would make the decision for you.
Good call.
Like, what should I do? It's like, no, go get a bucket. I don't even think it's like, you know, there's going to be like an executive decision on behalf of your stomach, and you're just going to follow along because it's driving now. I mean, right?
Oysters take the wheel. It's important to have dreams, folks. It's important to achieve.
I guess.
Now I want oysters. I don't want 40 dozen. There's a man in New Jersey, and he decided that he was going to get a rowboat professionally. So he had it rigged up. I mean, there's people who have done this, who have gone from the United States to Europe, and they have rowed.
Yeah, professional athletes, and they usually have they have chase boats with them, and all kinds of supplies.
Most of them don't have chase boats. Most of these guys.
I thought they did.
No, and the rower, the thing, they can they'll put out a sea anchor and sleep. So they'll drift, but not as fast, and then they'll get up in the morning and make up that time and keep going.
So you have to figure out where you are by the currents and everything.
He's going to Scotland.
Okay.
He's going to Scotland. I can't believe how far.
Home country, good for him.
How far do you think that is? That's a long, long way. And so anyway, they put in his boat in New Jersey at the Bargett Light, which is the lighthouse, and he decided to put in there, and off he went. Crowd waving.
So this is like a
"See you
professional
later.
athlete
See
guy.
you later." No, he's a little
really
older.
high tech, really sleek boat.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He had
Okay,
a really
cool,
nice boat,
cool, cool.
and with all the supplies and stuff.
Cool.
Sort of.
Sort of.
And the weather came up, and the Mayday call went out, and the Coast Guard went and rescued him. 21 miles off the coast.
Okay.
He's a
Wow.
52-year-old man. His first name is Duncan Hutchinson. And
Ah,
evidently, the quote was, "I should have checked the weather before I set off."
I just love the picture of him with the Coast Guard guy because he's sitting there like, hey, what's up? If that were me, I'd have my head in my shirt going,
Should have checked the weather. 20-mile-an-hour winds with a 8.5-foot sea. Okay,
8.5.
So I'm
Okay,
6'2".
that's swamping everything.
So that's pretty good, except for the fact that there is going to be weather from here to Scotland. Mike said, "Well, is he going to do it in one day?" There's weather that happens as you cross the open ocean. It's crazy.
8.5-foot swells, though, you would think you would probably check in advance. There's a lot of maritime forecasts now that give you a lot better.
14 days later, there could be another storm. This is not like you get through this storm and then it's like, quiet pond, and here I am going to Scotland.
If it's taking you 14 days, then you're in the wrong direction.
It takes you weeks.
I don't.
How fast do you row?
Not fast enough, apparently. But 21 miles, huh?
21 miles.
Well, you got some exercise.
He saved a lot.
You got some fresh air.
Yeah, he saved money on sunscreen.
See?
Right?
Yeah.
It's all
You
the
gave
way
the
to look
Coast
at
Guard
it.
guy something to chuckle about.
That's right. It's a glass half full.
That's how we look at
Right.
it.
And a boat half full.
All right.
Of water.
Please don't forget to share the show today, and that qualifies you for the Christopher's Prime Steakhouse dinner for 4. We'll be giving it away on Friday. And tomorrow,
It's going to be awesome.
we're going to do it, aren't we? We're
We're going to have
unveil
live
it.
animals on the set.
No, we're going to unveil the thing. No. We're unveiling the thing, right?
What the thing? No.
The thing.
Well, there's another thing.
Please, no, I want to unveil the thing,
No,
please.
there's
We've been waiting. You have all the raw materials at home. You have to unveil the thing tomorrow. Please.
All right.
I've been waiting for the thing.
Tomorrow's the thing.
It's going to be great.
Thanks for making me work more. I
Come on,
appreciate that.
it's such a cool... I
Sorry,
bought the
my
stuff you
back-
needed.
My back hurts from farming alone. All right, we'll see you tomorrow with a thing. Have a good day.